Am I the a-hole for telling my therapist something bad about my mom? Hello Reddit. I have mixed feelings about something that happened today, and I need to know what I should do. Okay, so my mom, 46F, and I, 16F, go to therapy together. On Wednesday I forgot to take my ADHD meds, and I was really hungry. I texted my mom to bring me some food before lunch, and she did. She dropped it off with a note and $20 to pay for my school dance ticket. The note was a reminder that I had therapy that day and to come to the front of the school at 2:30, my appointment is at 3. I ate my lunch, bought my ticket, and went to my last class. 2 hours later I was in math when I glanced at the clock and saw it was 2:36. I explained my situation to my teacher, and even without a pass she let me go. I packed up my stuff and made my way to the front of the school. I was going slowly because, frankly, I did not want to go to therapy that day. This was my first mistake. As I approached my mom's car, nothing seemed wrong. I opened the door and struggled to get my backpack in the front seat. I dropped my phone and bent to pick it up when my mom snapped at me. She was angry that I had ignored her texts and calls. It is state law that we cannot have phones in school, and that I had taken my time walking out to the car. As usual, she gave me an angry lecture. I do not remember exactly what she said, but here were the main points. We are now going to be late. You cannot keep thinking the world will accommodate you. Your ADHD is not an excuse. You are too old to lose track of time. I literally sent you an in-person note. You should have remembered. I was crying the whole time on the drive to therapy. When we arrived, I tried my best to pull myself together. I really did, but unlike other times I could not. I think I could have if I had 15 minutes to calm down, but at that moment all I could do was wipe my tears away. Digging my nails into my palms did not even work this time. Oh, by the way, we ended up being 5 minutes late to my appointment. Anyway, my therapist obviously noticed I was crying and tactfully decided to unpack that. My mom usually sits in on my sessions, but I asked her to leave, and she did with no fuss. My therapist asked why I was crying, and I told her the whole story. She validated my feelings by saying things like, "That sounds hard. Does this happen often? And how do you think your mom is feeling?" etc. I opened up and described some other incidents. I am not going into full detail, but here is a summary. The cookie incident. I made cookies for an event, and while feeling overwhelmed I snapped at my brother and told him he could not have one before dinner. He is the youngest child, so he went to my mom, and she got really mad at me for parenting her kid. About a week later my dad brought home crumble cookies and my siblings and I started digging in. My mom came down and got mad that we were eating before dinner. My sister daringly pointed out that it was hypocritical for her to get mad at us when she had made a big deal about the opposite a week earlier. I admired my sister's bravery at that moment. My mom stormed upstairs and sulked. Dinner that night was quite awkward. Now the incident from last summer, 4 months ago. We went to a backyard party, and my brother and I were the only kids there, so we played tag. I was faster than him, and he wanted to add a cooldown rule after tags. I did not want that because being faster than him was working in my favor. We eventually left, and I got the front seat. My brother went to whine to my mom and lied about what I did. As we drove home, my mom took out her frustration on me. I had had enough and finally started arguing back. Big mistake. She delivered what I think was her final line: "If you are going to act like a child, I'm going to treat you like one." My mom slapped my face hard. My nose started bleeding and she grabbed my nose to stop it, but she was pinching it hard. I said something like, "Is this how you treat children?" Anyway, I told my therapist, and she had to make a mandatory report. She sent me out to talk to my mom. She said she would not tell her what I said, but I guess she did. My mom was angry and crying on the way home. She said things like, "I hope this is what you wanted. You know I will be taken away, right? And I cannot believe you did this to get back at me." She took my school dance ticket, ripped it up, and threw it out the window. Then she dumped my backpack out on our driveway and told me to clean up my mess. I spent the rest of the day trying to avoid her. She went to take my brother somewhere, and I told my dad everything when he came home. I was a crying, puffy-eyed mess. I went to my friend's house to watch a movie. That is where I am writing this from. I really need to know how badly I messed up. Please help. Update 1. CPS came to my school. Okay, it is the next day. My mom refused to drive me to school, so I walked. Not a big deal. I went through the day in a kind of detached state. My friends probably noticed something was wrong, but they did not ask. I was in my biology class doing homework when a vice principal pulled me out of class. In the hallway he said a CPS worker from the state was there along with a police officer. He said I was not in trouble and asked if he could sit in on our conversation. I said yes. He brought me into a quiet room with the officer and the CPS worker. They asked me a lot of questions. I will do my best to recount them. Who do you live with? Do you know why you are here? Was the incident a one-time occurrence? Do you feel safe? How are things at home? What are your parents' names? Just to name a few. To sum it up, I cried a little and asked what was going to happen. They said they had no intention of removing me or taking my mom away. I did not mention what had happened after my appointment, the ticket ripping and dumping my backpack, just in case my mom was notified. Afterward, I had an awkward conversation with my school counselor, who tried to comfort me, but it was not working. I think my situation was above her pay grade. I went back to class and told my friend I was just rearranging my schedule. I do not think she believed me. We played Uno. When school got out, I was walking home along the road where my mom usually picks me up, and I saw her car. I was scared because when she is mad, she never picks me up or drives me anywhere. She started with a half apology. She said something like, "I am sorry I hit you, but if we are going to work through this, you need to tell me why you did this to me." I did not respond. I was scared that if I told her the truth and she did not like it, or if it was not good enough, I did not know what would happen. She kept saying CPS was coming and that it was so serious my dad was calling lawyers. Then I noticed we were not going home. She pulled into a parking lot and lectured me for an hour. She said I really messed things up and that she was not willing to be a mother to me anymore. In defense, I told her CPS had already come and it did not seem that bad. She blew up at me for ratting her out again and said she would never help me in school again because everyone knows what she did. She called my dad and told him she could not do this anymore and that we need to send her away. I was silently crying through all of this. Anyway, she drove me home and went upstairs. I am pretty sure I will update again because I know she is not done yet. I have dyslexia, so I am sorry if these posts are not perfect. Final update. First, I want to thank all of you for your support throughout the hardest week of my life. You really are my internet gems. A few things to clear up. My dad is not the bad guy here. He has tried his best to protect us without damaging our image of my mother, and he has really stepped up. Now for the update. I was not able to update immediately because my phone was taken away as punishment. The same day my mom took me to the parking lot to lecture me, my dad stepped up later that night. After he heard my side of the story, he confronted my mom and helped her see what she had really done. That was the first time in my life I have ever seen my father cry. My mom said she takes back everything she said, whatever that means. I do not even know. The damage is definitely still there. I am allowed to go to the winter formal, and all of my privileges have been restored. However, things are certainly never going to be back to normal. Whatever normal I thought I was living in, I never want to live that again. I have 2 more years before I leave for college, and I just have to stick it out until then. I have been trying to bond more with my father. I do not really know how to end this update, but thank you for helping me see my mom for who she really is.